Hi everybody, thank you for giving us the opportunity to present our article today. The title of the article, We Are Unmatched, Leveraging Non-Experts as Co-Urban Designers. The authors are me, Shubho, and Professor Markol Shanabal. We'd like to give thanks to National Science Challenge to support this research with their funding. This research aligns one of National Science Challenge's strategic research area on designing future neighborhood. Regarding layperson's active participations with the artifacts in the early stage of urban design, the design artifacts used in conventional urban design has limitations to allow lay people to take part actively in the early stage of design ideation. Particularly in participatory urban design process, the idea is hidden in assumptions because of lack of associated informations of the artifacts. Also in the process, the participants act like individual actors. So we speculated that a virtual immersive design instrument can let the people to participate as a design unit together to produce authentic design outcome. So the research questions is how do virtual environment instruments facilitate design communications for lay people in an urban design process? With the sub-questions, how do the attributes of VE instruments perceptually afford lay people in design communication for designing urban forms? With another sub-questions, how can 3D design artifacts involve the lay people in urban design collaboration? The research scopes comprises three different areas. One is in urban design processes and tools, then virtual design representations and participations, then virtual instrument development and experts role. In between them, like our research locates. The research framework compiles with four stages. It starts with preliminary survey. Preliminary survey has done exactly after the City Council consultations, which helped us to refine the preliminary study, not to compare with feedback survey. Then VR instrument development, where we select the instrument, then customize the VE instrument to engage lay people in later stage. Then in the design experiment, which we arranged in the site, we invited the people from the community. We engaged in different sessions, and every sessions we recorded the conversations and saved the 3D models for further analysis by the experts. In the stage of evaluations, we analyzed those audio recording through a method of protocol analysis, and at the end we produced the results. So the site is a low density suburb in Wellington in Karuri. After 1 year of workshops with the community, the city council suggested that in the empty lot, here you can see this yellow empty lot, they need to build something and which can contribute to the regeneration of the suburban centers. Basically, this the whole yellow patch already been considered for regenerations, but they are particularly focusing on that empty lot, which we made the case for our design task. We invited the people to design something and in that empty lot. So one of the city council consultations event, they presented 2D printed maps and perspectives to the community to collect polls from them to which in to find out which options they really want to have. This way is a kind of communication is a kind of one-way feeding informations can facilitate stakeholders to integrate their feedback within the design options. So we also did a survey on that day. It seems like most of the people wanted to have their own design idea in this process, but which didn't happen because city council already been proposed some options to them from where they have to pick one. So understanding that, like, we made a framework where the group of designers can work in a virtual environment. where they act like an unit. Group B can be a group of person. Designers in here, like designers A, in work in immersive world, and immediately group of designers B, they get feedback from uh, huge display screens. They design together. They are not individual actor. They break the social hierarchy and they feel like one in this case. And they produce authentic conversations. So, and also the feeling of affiliations in the experiment setup brings awareness to the designers through each other activities. So, which really led them to get into conversations to produce some authentic output. So, here you can see like the photos of the event which happened in inside in the Karuri community, and one designer designed in the immersive environment where the perceptual affordance of the instrument leveraged them to produce meaningful artifacts which led to authentic conversations with other fellow designers. Here the video shows the glimpses of their instruments for immersive designers where they can produce quite easily the 3D artifacts with the material properties. The immersive designers, and immediately they get feedback with other fellow designers throughout their display screens, and they get into conversations and they produce some meaningful design outcome. So we arranged 8 different sessions, and every sessions came up with different design ideas for same empty land. And some of them proposed a mixed use urban park, some of them proposed outdoor cafe, some of them proposed mixed the playground, the night market, play centers, urban park. So like now the people has their own voice on their empty land, and also they can able to visualize their ideas with more informed way in the virtual environment. They get the physical idea of the physical attributes of their ideas. To understand the types of communications, we developed a coding schemes to do the protocol analysis, to understand the types of conversation they've done. So the protocol analysis has developed on 4 major coding schemes. One is a communication control, which basically includes the interruptions of the instruments and by the fellow designers, and second is design communication, which includes conversations on developing design concepts, detail and task. And there is also social communication, which basically the non-task related conversations. And finally the communication technology, which counts the conversation on examining and discussions on the VR instrument. There are other categories, like how we look into the different conversations to do this protocol analysis. So from the protocol analysis on design conversations from 3 different sessions where they have proposed for option 2 outdoor cafe, for options 4 a playground, for option 7 indoor play centers. The percentage of the conversations shows that most of them invest time on discussion related to design. We also found that mostly they talked on developing concepts. Then secondly on spending time on the communication control, which happened due to the interruptions of the instrument as they were the first time users of the instruments. And also it seems like in regarding our design communications, like they spend quite a significant time on developing our design concepts in 3 of the sessions. So it seems like they really engaged in talking with related to design. Then during the conversations, it seems a significant time the participants also involved in sharing jokes and non-tax related conversation, which showed that the conversations were authentic. There were certain kind of flow during their conversation. For the sake of the research, we had to act as researchers and also an expert, because in a conventional practice, experts come at the beginning with the design and develop the design process to the lay people. But in this experiment, the experts come later, because the designers involved in the early stage and they can generate a meaningful design outcomes with some physical understanding of the urban form, and obviously they can produce without the help of any experts. So like in the initial stage, non-experts take decisions by themselves, and in here in here this procedure is really kind of shifting the role of experts from middle to the end. So the research contribution aligns in two different areas, basically affording lay people in design communications and using 3D urban collaborations in urban design process. And at the end, we can say the research hypothesized that in old method, experts brings design artifacts to the designers, but now the designers bring artifacts to the experts. They are producing urban artifacts as co-designers on their own neighborhood. Thank you.